Yo, what's up everyone? Back here with another video. In today's video, we're going to be playing with the team that Kazuki Kobayashi used to get top 4 at the North American International Championships. So this will just be a solo video with me and you guys here. Yeah, as you guys can see, it's a pretty standard team. The pace, or the rental and the pace technically are public, so you guys can obviously check the rental out here. I'm going to quickly take away my camera. So it's pretty much a standard like Calyrex-Ice Miraidon team with Farigiraf. The cool thing about this team, I think, is the Scarf Urshi being really proactive on this team and having the ability to switch into Farigiraf. I think it opens up a lot of cool plays, and then of course the Lando being able to go for that Earth Power, Sludge Bomb, you know, into a lot of these balancy type cores is really useful. So with that being said, we're gonna get right into it. But I thought it'd be cool. Also, something I noticed, which I thought was really funny, is on the last 2 videos I posted, it actually, both of them went for 1 hour and 16 minutes and 34 seconds. I don't know why. It was just really funny that they both happened to do that. I don't think I have any other music. Oh, well, Titan music is happening, I guess. Let's see. What will we do? I think here. Hold on 2 seconds. I'm reorganizing my OBS. Okay, perfect. Alright, so here I want to say our best plan into Hard Trick Room probably is going to, like, we don't have to stop it going up. We basically just have to make sure we're getting enough value out of the turns. We definitely want to take Miraidon in the back so we can take away their Psychic Terrain if need be. I think leading the Incineroar is, like, okay. The only thing that's a little bit tricky about that is obviously you're going to allow them to do a couple things. I could see Farigiraf being good here potentially because you can reverse the Trick Room. It just kind of opens up some weird things. If you lead Urshifu, you can Surging Strike Smeargle immediately, which I don't hate. We don't have Terra Water on it is the main issue. So I'm kind of thinking we're going to go Urshifu, Calyrex-Ice, Miraidon, and Incin, because this gives us the most flexibility and you get the Surging Strikes for the Smeargle immediately. Worst case, we can hard switch to Miraidon to block a Spore if we need to. Obviously, Decorate's a potential thing we have to be worried about, so I'll have to think about that a little bit. Okay, Smeargle, Lunala. I think it's as simple as just a Lance here, to be honest, because we don't really want to let them like get anything off for free. They could also Meteor Beam turn 1. We could Surging Strikes here and Terra Water Lance. I know Terra Water is typically, it's going to go on the Rex usually most of the time anyways. The only way this like goes poorly is if they're Terra Grass on Smeargle. Which like, if they are, like that's annoying. But what are you going to do? Okay, Terra Water. So no Terra on Smeargle. This is fine. Okay. So that's Timid Smeargle, we're already faster, which is fine. Meteor Beam comes out. Okay, so this is good, because even though they're going to get a boost here, our Calyrex should be able to take this just fine. And then we're going to be able to launch a U-turn into the Smeargle. Okay. Okay, perfect. I think my plan is to U-turn here and throw a Leech Seed into Lunala. Because U-turn also covers if they bring in Indeedee to try an Expanding Force. So I think that's probably our best play here. Because if they go for an Expanding Force here, full power, and like they wipe us, that'd be bad, but U-turn prevents that, and then Leech Seed lets us get some health back. So it would only be bad if they Terra Grass, but like the Terra Grass in front of a Calyrex that could lance you is a little crazy, so I don't really expect them to be using that play. But yeah. Hold on 2 seconds, guys. So I had to respond to a quick message. Yeah, I think here, realistically, they're kind of putting themselves in a position where they're just going to get U-turned. What did Lunala Terra? Oh my god, they Terra Grassed in front of Lance? What? That's crazy. That's an insane play, actually. That's actually crazy. Well, we bring in Instant here regardless, because they used up their Meteor Beam already, so they can only Moongeist or Expanding if they really want to, and getting an Instant means we can Flare Blitz the Luna. in Trick Room. Wow, that's a really good play by our opponent. That's crazy. I'm actually very impressed by that. The thing is, though, even though they made this read, like, I don't think they win the game because we still have a lot of like tools to win here. That's pretty crazy though, the Terra Grass in front of that. Because like, imagine if I just Lancer. The Calyrex-Ice. I kind of want to just Flare Blitz Lunala and Leech Seed the Calyrex-Ice. But also another thing I could do here is click Fake Out into Calyrex-Ice and Lance. Because it covers if they go for Trick Room, and then if not, I get a free switch back into Miraidon, which then lets me pressure with like a double attack onto one of the slots. Which I kind of like a little bit better. So I feel like it could be Torkoal in the back here. Indeedy. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. Because if they expanding here and kill our Calyrex-Ice, that's fine, right? And if they go for a Trick Room here, we get a Lance off. So they either have to kill us or they just, you know, we get it off. Okay, they're expanding. Okay, so now what we can do is we can drift into the Indeedee. Because there's no Psychic Seed, so unless it's Sash, that's the only way it lives. And we Flare Blitz into Lunala. Okay. Yep. Okay. I think Indeedee should always die to Drift. Unless they're Sash. They could be like a weird Sash set, I guess. Well, no, because Smeargle Sash. Okay, yeah. So we should be fine. We can just Drift Flare Blitz. I do want to double the Indeedee. In case it switches back to Calyrex. Because that would guarantee we win the game. Yeah. This should be very, very safe for us. Yep. Okay. Perfect. I actually don't know if Kazuki was running Adamant Ensign. I didn't actually take time to look at the pace. Like, I looked at the moves, obviously. I would assume so. Yeah, okay, perfect. We just win. Oh, we crit. I'll check the Ensign like right after this. The pace public anyway, so I could just open the mons. Yeah, I mean, the nice thing about AV Ensign and then Terra Water Calyrex is you have so much control over the pace of the game, right? So, teams like this can't really cheese you that well. Alright, let me take a look at Kazuki's Ensign real quick. Okay, it is Adamant. Oh my god, that's actually a good chunk of investment. Okay, so he's pretty invested. He actually does a ton of damage. That's really good for us to know for our next games. That means that when we click Flare Blitz into something, we can expect it to do, like, a lot. Cool. That was a great first game. I think it just goes to show that, like, these hard Trick Room teams, one of the things they have the biggest trouble with, when you have, like, your own Trick Roomer that's, like, pretty bulky, it's really hard for them to stop you sometimes. Not to mention, like, when you have tools like AV Ensign, the Scarf Ursh is great there because you can obviously pressure Surging immediately into the Smeargle, forcing it to, like, fake out. You just have a lot of plays available to you for sure. I do think the concept of this team is really, really cool. I mean, it's obviously, like, a more standard-looking team, but it's pretty sick. Okay, so we're against number 20. Zacian Kyogre. We don't have a Terra Water Giraffe, so it's going to be a bit harder to get Trick Room up, but we do still have Terra Water Ice, so that helps us a little bit here. I think we can go with an Urshifu lead here, because even though it's going to mean that... Well, actually, there's a couple different leads you could go for. Like, I think that going for Urshifu in the lead is good, because if they lead Zacian Kyogre, you can Terra Water Surging Strikes to Zacian immediately. And if they lead with, like, Tornadus Kyogre, you can just Terra Water Lance turn 1 and close combat the Kyogre. Because you shouldn't really die to Water Spout unless they're, like, Terra Water specs. So, I think I'm okay with this ring, yeah. Scarf Shifu is obviously really nice. The only one that would be tricky would be, like, Kyogre plus Raging Bolt, because then they could pressure Thunderclap into us and Water Spout, or Thunderbolts and Water Spout into our Calyrex, and, like, that's going to force us to take a lot of damage immediately. So, Okay, so they did lead Zacian. That's like good for us, I'd say. This is like our ideal scenario. We could just Terra Water Surging Tricks immediately and click Leech Seed. We could also try to play a bit more defensively here, but I feel like you kind of have to go all in against a lead like this because they're going for offense and we need to go for offense too. I think Leech Seed is good here. I could also protect close combat. That's also a potential play you can make here. What's the drawback if I click that play? I block Behemoth Blade. I block Water Spout. I get Play Roughed. Do I lose? I could lose. I could also protect Terra Water Surging Strikes, but that doesn't really give me much ground here. I kind of want to Leech Seed Terra Water Surging Strikes into this. If you get rid of it immediately, it puts you in like a good spot. I am going to sack my Terra pretty early, but I won't need the Terra defensively for Calyrex-Ice because I'll be getting rid of Zacian. So now if Zacian Terra Waters, we probably just lose on the spot, but you know. It's an unlikely Terra, I want to say. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's going to go down. That wouldn't have gone down if we didn't Terra Water, so. Okay, perfect. Maybe it would have. I don't know. It's like kind of close. I don't think it does, so. Water Spout. Or Origin Pulse. Thunder. Oh, wow. So they made a hard read that we were going to Terra Water our Calyrex-Ice. So, I mean, this is very good for us. They got super punished for making that read. I think it's just important, like, with a lead like this, you just play immediately, like, just, like, remove the Zacian. Because, like, they're going to play really aggressive. Like, Water Spout was probably their safest play here. Clicking Thunder is, like, a hard read for sure. Yeah, I don't know if Thunder was super necessary for them, but, I mean, we'll take it. Like we're not 100% safe yet. There's still, like, ways we can lose. Okay, so if we protect here and switch, we're going to lose something probably. We could stay in and Surging Strikes immediately into Kyogre. It's our biggest threat remaining, so it's kind of like our smartest target. So I'm kind of down to just go for Protect and Surging. Because even if they, what's it called, get the KO with Thunderclap, that just means we'll be able to go for a instant switch in, fake out Trick Room, and then we can just Lance through the rest of the team. Nice. Okay, so they let us do it. Okay, they T-bolted our Calyrex. So did they Thunder our Urshifu or did they Water move? They Origin Pulse. Okay. So they just hard committed to doubling on the Rex. I mean, I guess it makes sense. They want the KO, but now we just kind of sit here. Okay, so our Calyrex is full health, which, like, we shouldn't die to Origin Pulse anymore, so I'm kind of feeling safe to Lance here. Because if we get the Lance off, we kill the Ogre, we're, like, automatically in a really good spot. And then we can Surging again, of course, right? So I kind of want to just click Lance, force the Thunderclap with Surging onto Kyogre, right? And then if they Thunderclap us, that's fine, because we get Lance off and we just win the game. It is worth noting they haven't Terra'd yet, so obviously we don't know what their Terra is, but like clicking Surging here forces them to clap if they're going to clap, right? And they defensively Terra Bolt here, we're still fine. We still have a full health Miraidon in the back. Okay, they're electric. Oh, imagine that if that Surging Tricks went in the Raging Bolt and they didn't clap. Okay, they Thunderclap, that's fine. Because here they have to Origin Pulse, and they're obviously, if they're running Thunder and Origin Pulse, that means they have to be Mystic Water, most likely. Or AV, which then means our Calyrex takes it just fine. Okay, so that's probably AV, based on damage. Oh, that was a crit. I mean, I'm not going to complain about it, but obviously it's pretty fortunate. Okay, let's see what comes in, because that's going to make a big difference here. Okay, we're going to heal up a little bit. Instin's going to come in, because we get an Intimidate versus anything. If it's Lando in the back, that's probably like Is that worst or best case scenario? I think that's worst case scenario. Okay, they have POW. Okay, this is really good. We can guarantee we win the game here by clicking Lance and U-turn in the Raging Bolt. Mostly because if they decide to attack with POW, like whatever, right, we break its Sash. And then U-turn will kill the bolts because we're adamant, right? So we can reset and bring in our Intimidate again. So the only way we can lose this, I think, is like if they protect and then crit our Calyrex-Ice. Okay, they could do that too, I guess. Okay, Lance, so it's over half. So now I think the way they try and lock this game is by... They're going to Sacred Sword and they're going to Thunderbolt into our Calyrex-Ice, and we can avoid that by clicking this and U-turn, right? And then Miraidon comes in, we click Gleam, and we click Leech Seed in the Bolt. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And now we just Gleam and Leech Seed the Bolt, and it should be game. Because the Chen Pao is at -1, right? So that should be fine for us. And we're also fast Miraidon, because I think Kazuki was timid. He's timid, creep to be faster than Adamant, but not timid max speed. So if it's Adamant Pao, which is the standard Pao, we should outspeed. Otherwise, if they're like max speed, we still live anyways. But ideally, we just go first, right? And knock out. Okay, they are -1, so we can Leech Seed here and Gleam, and that avoids Thunderclap too. Because this play is we're trying to avoid Thunderclap and the Calyrex to kill it, and Icicle Crash Flinch. If they T-Bolt and Icicle Crash Flinch and go for it, they can do that, but like that's technically their best play here. But I think they're going to try and clap to catch a Lance, or do that, which is fine too. We'll see if our Mirai is faster or not. Okay, we are faster. Okay, so that should just be game on the spot. Now we can just attack with our Calyrex. We don't have to risk like missing Leech Seed anymore, which is really good. Yep. Yeah, this was the right play to avoid a lot of risk this turn, but now that you have 2 Mons and only one of them like can die to the Raging Bolt, this is the turn where you double attack every time. Not to mention our Calyrex might be out of range. I mean, Raging Bolt's still pretty strong with that Terra Electric and Electric Terrain. So, yeah. Nice. I think this guy was like rank 22. He was pretty high up, so... He made some risky plays. Like, clicking Thunder into the Calyrex was definitely a crazy play. I think he was just like really expecting like maybe like us to play a bit... I don't even know if we played unsafe, though. I think our play was pretty reasonable. But maybe they were expecting us to like hard commit in something like that Terra, Water, and Ice. It is hard to like not do that for some people because it's like you're scared of the Kyogre, so you want to like Terra Ice. Give me 2 seconds. We're gonna grab a what's it called, water. Oh, Weezing Koraidon. Ew. Okay, so versus this, it's like a little tricky because they have a couple different options. So, for example, like Calyrex is really good in the lead usually. The only problem is if they're like Whisper Taunt on the Weezing, it can create issues. I was thinking about this a little bit in theory. I think if you lead Farigiraf Miraidon, it covers the most possible leads because you can rip Draco immediately into Koraidon, and you can go for Psychic into that. The only lead it doesn't really cover for well would be like Chi-Yu and Koraidon. But also, like, you can't cover for everything, right? I think Lando in the back, if you get up Trick Room, is, like, phenomenal here, to be honest. Instant could be good as well, because it gives you a good way to receive damage. Like, basically, I think we can get away without Lando, to be honest. If I say... Yeah, I want to say drop Lando here, just because it's too volatile if we take Lando, plus they have Walking Wake. But if we take Instant, we have, like, Fake Out, potentially. Okay, so they do like Koraidon. So for our potential turns, we have the immediate play of Draco into the Koraidon, right? That is a very safe potential play you can go for immediately, right? The other stuff that we'd have to potentially worry about here is like they go for Taunt into our Farigiraf. So I think what we can do here, just to keep it like relatively neutral, is Psychic into the Weezing and just go for Draco Meteor into the Koraidon. It guarantees that regardless of what they do, we get some kind of value. If they decide to Terrify or Flare Blitz, kill our Farigiraf, we get a Draco, right? If they go for Dragon Claw and kill our Miraidon, now we have a concern, but you can't really predict that, right? That's Terrifier. Yep. Okay. Draco Meteor comes out. Yep. Okay, they do live, which makes sense. Collision Course. Okay, so they Collision Course. That's actually good. This is like a pretty okay turn. This is probably one of the more positive outcomes we could have had. They taunt. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we did decide to Psychic here, so that puts us in a really good spot. Because now we just have a ton of pressure. Oh my god, that did so much damage. Okay. Okay, if we Psychic Weezing again, it's pretty telegraphed, so I want to Foul Play into it to cover for Kali Shadow coming in and Koraidon protecting. Because that is a play that's like very reasonable for them to make. Yeah. And then Draco again, just because we're faster. It's fine. Okay. Okay, nice. That's a really good turn. What did they bring in is the question. Okay, Foul Play comes out, that's fine. It hits Weezing Protect. We're not too concerned about that. Like, this is obviously a pretty good outcome. We got a free KO in the Restricted. We're able to absorb the damage on the Miraidon just fine. Kali Shadow comes out. Okay, so if they're Pollen Puff Life Orb or Specs Pollen Puff, like that could KO our Giraffe. But I'm not even worried. I think Life Orb would be the more concerning one of the two. We can switch into Instant here. AV Instant's really, like, it's able to receive any damage here, and we conserve our Miraidon for later. Even though we would theoretically Intimidate the Rex, because Weezing's active, the Neutralizing Gas is going to turn it off. If Weezing switches out into, like, CSR, or into Chiyu maybe, like, we're still fine. Okay. So Foul Play will do less, but the intention was to break the Sash, so I'm not, like, the most concerned. It's probably Chiyu. Oh, it's Walking Wake, okay. Okay, Barrage, Infinita. Okay, Foul Play actually did a little less than I anticipated. We do have Trick Room pressure here, so we can Trick Room. I like the idea of Trick Room plus Knock because it keeps them honest. On if they Encore into our Farigiraf, that means we get a KO, and then it's just Walking Wake stuck against, like, our Calyrex-Ice, which is, like, super okay. So we're gonna go for that. And if they double our Farigiraf and kill it, we still get the Knock and win the game. Like, we could consider tearing our Instant, but I just don't think it's necessary, because you should always be able to live the Hydro Steam. Unless I'm overestimating Instant. I guess I could be overestimating Instant. I am overestimating Instant, okay. Oh, it crit us. Okay, that makes more sense. I was surprised that that knocked out, but now we gotta be careful. Okay, they Astral Barrage. So they did double, so they were going for kill on our Instant either way. Trick Room goes up. And now that we have Trick Room up, I think Calyrex just kind of goes to town here. I don't think anything really stops us from clicking Helping Hand, Terra Water, Lance. So we're just going to do that. And we saw the Weezing was fast already because it went faster than our Giraffe. So, well, actually, does our Giraffe have speed? Let's see. Okay, yeah, so they're literally just speedy on Weezing. Okay. Lance comes out. Boom. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is just a one game at this point. I think a really good thing we did here was obviously being able to trade effectively with the Koraidon, forcing their Terra out, and then also putting their Rex in a really awkward position in front of Farigiraf and Incin. Like, taking the Incin over the Lando was for sure the right bring, because you had a lot more flexibility in terms of being able to sustain the Astral Barrages, right? Being able to put yourself in good position. So I'm very happy with how that turned out. Goodness. Cool. Pretty good so far. Teams felt strong. I'm curious, like, if our opponent had encored our for draft in the last game, what would that have looked like later on, right? Because it could have definitely been a dicier situation. I think it would have been okay. But yeah, like, that's just a interesting thought experiment, I guess. It's like, what would have happened? I need to get more music for my Switch too, because I started a new fresh copy of Violet for this game, because I was just like, oh, it's like better, you know what I mean? To have a fresh copy or whatever. But it's really funny because obviously, you know, it's nice to have more music, so I gotta actually like play through the game. I want to get the Rune music too, the other stuff, so. Let's see. Okay, we're against Zach, rank 10. Okay, so they're using the MDV team in the mirror, so it's a little bit interesting because they have a couple different options. I do feel like Calyrex Miraidon is like generally the conventional like mirror lead. If you lead Incin and Calyrex, you get Fake Out and Lance turn 1, which I don't hate. Miraidon Incin is good if your Incin's faster. We can check like it's 90 speed, so it's pretty reasonable. If we did this and then this, it means we'd be playing pretty much a full-on mirror, but we could definitely convert off of that if we're playing properly. Yeah, I can get behind this. Like, it's sure. Are you putting like lead versus lead, like Miraidon versus Miraidon, and is there going to be some mind games in the mirror? 100%. But like, there's definitely like ways that you can skew this to like be in your favor for sure. We might even Terra Fairy to try and incentivize them to drift and then bring in Lando. Okay, they bring in okay, they bring in Grim and Mirai, so that's actually pretty okay for us, I want to say. I just want to go for a regular Gleam here and a Fake Out into the Miraidon. We don't go... So the reason why, by the way, I want to explain why I'm not going for like a Terra Fairy Gleam. If you Terra Fairy Gleam now, they're very incentivized to click Thunder Wave into you next turn, which wouldn't be a great turn for us. But if we go for the Terra Fairy next turn, there's a chance that they're just going to try and set up the other screen instead, which then means we'll be able to get the KO, and we'll potentially be able to bait Miraidon into like a bad lock, right? So... And if they do this, we're still fine. Because saving Terra as a resource is, like, nice. Okay. Light screen. Okay. They're very incentivized to Sandseer Storm here. We're going to switch to Lando. We're going to knock them. It's going to put their Lando really low, and then it should put us in a position where we can potentially pick them off with the Sludge Bomb from our own Lando, and we can U-turn into Grim. Okay. Oh, they Sludge Bomb. Okay, so they hard called out Terra Fairy. Like, respect for them to making the play, but yeah, that's gonna put them really far behind. We knock off their Life Orb. That's really good for us because now their damage is going to be pretty reduced. We're still going to go for Sludge Bomb here, even though they just weakened us a little bit. It's going to make sure that they're in range of Gleam for our own Miraidon, then we can U-turn into the Lando. And then they're going to be in range of double Gleam for our Miraidon, and we can hard switch out back into like Calyrex-Ice or something. Okay, Grim goes out. I mean, that makes sense. Oh, they have Urshifu. Okay. So they drop Calyrex-Ice here. Okay. U-turn comes out. Now we can go for an Earth Power and a Dazzling Gleam, regular. Yep. Okay. Earth Power, Dazzling Gleam. And we don't have to, like, commit Terra here. Like, there's no threat. Like, Lando's too low. Okay. They do get the knockout, but I actually think that's fine. Because it means we get Calyrex in for free. Okay, perfect. Okay, now we get in Calyrex, which is fine. Yeah, I think we're in a very good spot here. Because we can just spam Gleam. Gleam Lance doesn't really let them switch into anything safely. And then, yeah, we just kind of win the game. Basically, we just forced enough resources out of them early between, like, the regular Gleams and then getting in Orlando, where, like, our own Miraidon was able to do enough now where it's hard to stop both Miraidon and Calyrex, right? Yeah. We saw it with Spear Break from Grim, so we know there's no foul play threat, which is really good for us. So we're pretty safe to just go for Gleam Lance. We're not going to Terra here, because if we Terra, we make ourselves potentially weak to Drift. And if they Draco Meteor, then they lock into a Draco and we're already winning, right? This basically forces them into a bad lock regardless of what they do. Could be Gleam here. I could see them going for Gleam. It makes reasonable sense. Okay, they reflect. Fake out Trick Room next, and then knock off and Lance is fine. Yep. Well, they drifted, okay. Okay, we lived, so... I mean, that pretty much locks the game for us. Here, I'm trying to think if there's any way we could lose. If they're randomly a Miraidon that's, like, not... Okay, so we're going to cover for them not being specs. Like, to do that much damage, they kind of have to be specs. But, just in case they're, like, a random, like, AV set or, like, something and they just, like, high-rolled with damage, I want to cover for that so we don't just, like, lose. And if they lock into Drift again, then we know for sure that they're, just whatever. Because then we can fake out Trick Room here if they switch. Okay, yeah, they just drift. And we know we're faster too, so honestly we could just Terra Fairy Gleam here to secure that we get the KO. Because now at this point there's like actually no way to lose. Nice. Solid game. Solid game. Let's see, let's see. He's been good so far, honestly. I've been very impressed by this team. Because usually, like, obviously I played a bunch of different teams, you know, on so far in these videos, and this team feels like very, very smooth. I mean, even the one with Justin felt very smooth too, but it's always nice to get to play a bunch of different teams, have a bunch of different perspectives on like how different teams are good in their own ways. You know? It's pretty cool. Alright. Okay. Kali, Shadow, Zama. I immediately am gravitating towards leading Miraidon and Ursh because I get immediate Surging Strikes. I definitely want for draft here so I could reset if need be. And then probably want to take the Calyrex-Ice so I could go for Leech Seed. I think that's pretty reasonable here. Yeah. Because then it lets me go for Leech Seed into Zama if I need to, which is super nice. So... Okay. I mean, I think we're actually in a phenomenal spot here, I'm not going to lie. Terra Water, Surging Strikes, Volt Switch immediately isn't even a bad play. If they bring in Rillaboom, we could also Draco to cover for defensive Terra on Zama and switch into Rillaboom. I'm actually going to do that. It's like a pretty crazy turn one play, but it actually opens up so many plays. It also covers their Zama Terra Dragons or Terra Grasses. So it like is extra good for us if we get it off. Okay, they left Zama in. Oh, they're EV to live. Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. Okay. What did they do, though? Usher Barrage? Okay. Okay, we live. Draco comes out, hits the Calyrex. Calyrex-Ice is in the back here, so we're not, like, losing. But, obviously, this is, Okay, they press Hermarai. And we live. Okay, great. So, it's like kind of neutral. I want to say it's, like, obviously a bit more favored for our opponent here, maybe. Rillaboom. Jesus Christ. Rillaboom comes in. Okay, I think we just go for... We can either double switch here or just go for Surging into Zama, switch to Giraffe. I kind of like Surging, switch to Giraffe. I think it's just very, like, fair. You guarantee chip if they don't Terra, and then if they do Terra, then now you know what they Terra'd into. You have an advantage. That's a lot of damage. Okay. What do they bring in is the question. So we're going to get the healing here. We traded our Terra for basically a KO on Rex and a bunch of damage on Zama, but we're at half health on Giraffe, we're low health on Mirai. We've traded pretty, like, it's been pretty harsh trades for sure. Okay, Ursa comes in. Interesting. Okay. Okay, I'm very interested to see how this turn goes. So, obviously here, I bring in Miraidon, because it just exerts the most pressure on the board. The question here is what slot protects, right? I think it's always better for me to attack with the Miraidon into Ursaluna, because you can't really ignore it here. And going for Draco is pretty safe, and a Psychic into Zama. I could obviously also choose to do a Gleam Helping Hand, but that's, like, pretty crazy. I don't think they should Wide Guard, but they can. And then Psychic is obviously just Psychic here. I don't hit Draco Psychic, to be honest. I would probably rather Draco, because if Ursaluna gets an attack off, I'm just in a horrible spot. So I'd just rather not risk that at all. No! Oh, that's so bad. Okay, now we lose. Yeah, because Draco kills Ursa, and then we Psychic Zama. It's super low, and we just win the game. But now we lose, yeah. That's unfortunate. I mean, our opponent played, like, well, but they basically were just like, yeah, if he connects Draco, like, I lose. I think he was just kind of banking on that. Because otherwise there's no reason to make this play. We can still win if they mess up here and let us lance them. So we're still going to play for that, but, like, it's not good. Like, we're in a bad situation for sure. You always play for, like, the mistake, right? But... yeah, they tear it like they were supposed to. You know, I guess now that I think about it, I guess our non-risky option too could have been to click Electro Drift into Zama and then Psychic into the Ursa. But that's still risky because if they kill our Farigiraf, then Calyrex-Ice comes in. We're locked into Electro Drift, which isn't helpful. Like, yeah, I think we made the right play for sure. It just sucks, obviously, that we whiffed. So, oh well. Okay, 196. $36. Okay. Another one of these teams. Okay, so into something like this, I would definitely suggest going Urshifu because obviously you get the Surging Strike's pressure immediately. Kinugawa's team is always like really interesting to play versus here. I want to say honestly, you could go with a similar approach as to last time. The only thing is that it is Terra Grass on Smeargle, so you have to be a little careful. I almost want to go with like Urshifu and Farigiraf because if they lead Rillaboom and Smeargle, you can U-turn turn 1 and just click Psychic into Smeargle. The only thing that's bad versus is Decorate. You can also Terra Water Surging Strike's Helping Hand turn 1. I know they have Terra Grass on Smeargle, but there should be like counterplay to it for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's not that bad. Should be okay. This is like a really awkward turn 1. I think I just U-turn though. U-turn and Psychic. He could decorate turn 1, so I could Helping Hand close combat as well. I kind of want to just Psychic here. Because U-turn Psychic just opens up immediate like lines into everything. Okay. We're going to bring in Miraidon here. If they choose a Draco or Urshifu, that's going to be a great turn for them, but I think we need to just keep them on their toes here. Okay, that's insane turn 1 damage, actually. I'm tempted to go into Calyrex-Ice, but I think Miraidon is actually correct. Holy moly, that's so much. Okay. It's a little unfortunate for sure. I kind of want to rip Helping Hand Gleam because if they choose to go for Draco, they still take a lot of, like, they take the special attack drop. And this also just, like, covers if they try and make a read with T-Bolt. Oh, no Helping Hand off is going to be really bad for us here. Okay, they go for Protect. That's fine. They're scouting for Artera. The problem is, this means that now their Smeargle is going to be able to Spore. Like, they can switch in Rilla and Spore our slot, and we can't really stop them. If we had gotten the Helping Hand off, we would have been able to put them in that kind of bad spot. Yeah, this is not good. We kind of need to now guess where the Terra's going to go. Like, we can still win. Like, that's the thing. We're not losing here. It's just, like, a lot harder for no reason. Well, not for no reason. There's a very valid reason why it's harder. What comes in? They're thinking. It means they probably have Zama in the back. So we go back out. Okay. Speed raise. Oh boy. That's bad. This comes in because you can... Okay, we do need to just Gleam Lance. Or Gleam TR. I think Gleam TR. Could also protect the block T-Bolt. I'm gonna Lance. They're probably gonna Decorate here, if I had to guess. Yeah. I could have protected. I think they're gonna Decorate. Yeah. Yep. But this covers if they go for a they're gonna T-Bolt, I think, into our guy. Yeah, I maybe should have protected. Yeah, I should have protected here. This was pretty telegraphed. I could have definitely played around this. It's funny because not getting that Psychic in the Rilla seemed like such a small turn, but it actually has such a big chain effect on the rest of the match. In this case. I'm gonna Terra Fairy Gleam here. Hope they don't Thunderclap and Aqua Jet, because if I get it off, I can win the game. They'd have to make a read here and Terra Electric Thunderclap and Terra thing. But the thing is they can protect bolts as well. But you can't like cover for everything, right? Like, if they're smart and protect bolts and sack Smeargle and decorate, like, that's their best play, actually. But we gotta hope they, like, don't see that line and take a riskier path to try and win. I think we still lose anyways, because if it's CSR in the back, it's like we don't have enough tools to break through it. Because the Rilla's not chipped enough. It's down on yellow because we didn't get the Psychic off. If we could Aqua Jet Rilla to kill it, we could win. But... okay. What do they do? If they clap us, it's fine. Okay, so we did stop clap. Okay. Well, it depends what they have in the back. I mean, they probably have Zama or Calyrex, so it doesn't really matter, but I guess we play for odds, right? Zama, okay. Do we even have a chance versus... I actually feel like we do have a chance versus Zama, specifically. Because they're forced to what? Wide guard here? And by chance, I mean we need the crit, but... I mean, Clap is smart in the Ursh because it's always insurance, right? You guarantee that I'm locking into Jet anyways, and then Jet can't break through this back. We need this guy to, like, make a mistake. What would be, like, the worst possible mistake? Glide, Heavy Slam into Miraidon, maybe? Wide Guard, Woodhammer into Miraidon? No shoddy, Woodhammer, and Miraidon, right? No, that's correct, yeah. Because he Wide Guards now every time. He Wide Guards until I run out of Gleams. And then, he does that. But, we can actually potentially win on time. If there's enough turns taken. Because I think we do a little bit more to Zama than Zama does to us. Well, it depends if they're Slam or Behemoth Bash. If they're Behemoth Bash, we lose either way. And we were very quick on our Your Time, so we probably play it out for that. Especially because we can recover with Grassy, yeah. Yeah, all it takes is like one crit with Gleam. Because they can't stall out all 12, I don't think, in time. In game. Yep, it's going to show a whole animation. Well, I feel like in every single game we've played in the past like 3 videos, we've had one match where we had to like timer stall. I don't think we've won a single one where we've had the timer stall either. The problem is too is the Switch 2, it like goes through so quickly where yeah, like it's just Switch 2 goes so fast. Like you never really get the game match timer. Really? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we gotta run it down a little bit. I'll know by a certain point if we have the ability to win by when we see the clock. So I'll just keep an eye on that. We need to start moving at 25 now. Okay. We have so many gleams left. Yeah, I wonder. I mean, it's tricky, right? Like, it's hard to say what if, because if we connect that Psychic, then we technically can just Aqua Jet past the Wide Guard, so we force him to target our Miraidon. Yeah, we probably actually would have definitely won in that situation, because they would have had to take 2 Gleams, or take a Gleam first. We can Aqua Jet them down. Okay. I wonder if they're going to get impatient and attack somewhere. Because they're like worried about timer. Okay. Yep. Dazzling Gleam comes out. Okay. This is so goofy. I'm gonna have to, like, by the way, guys, if you're watching this video, I do not blame you if you fast forward to the conclusion. We are literally, like, we're gonna be here for a minute. But it's good to show, like, what the authentic ladder experience looks like, I guess, right? Like, sometimes you're gonna be in these end games and you have to play for win. Okay, we go down to 25. So typically, what I found is like effective if you're like in this end game, right? Is like you obviously need to get to the 3-minute clock that you see. So like obviously if you don't have as much time to like stall with your time, because your time use is very important, right? Like typically getting around to the 20s range is where you want to click your move, because then you're still allowing for some seconds to pass, but you also need to be obviously putting yourself in a position where, like, you know. Yeah. I could even try and look back on the VOD to see like how close we are to the end. Ideally it's not much longer, regardless. Now I need to actually start thinking about like holding on to time. So 45 is what? 90, okay. Yeah, 215, okay. I think if I had like a few more gleams, I'd be fine. But because I use up so many gleams, I think I'm gonna be in an awkward spot. If we don't hit timer by like 2:20, I think we just guaranteed lose. Or by the end of this turn, I should say. Because I'm counting the timer in my head. Okay. Yeah, because stats. We need to hit 3 minutes within the end of this animation. If not, we just lose. I'm pretty sure. Are we gonna see it? I don't think we're gonna hit it. I think we're just out of range. I think by the end of the minute is when we'll see it. Yeah. We gotta hope that they mess up and like let us gleam them. I think is out here. No, we don't have it out. We don't have it out. There's no way to win. We don't have enough time. If we had 2 more gleams, there was a chance, because then you could, like, you know, gleam, like, wait, and then gleam again. But, yeah, in that end game, it's like, whatever. Yeah, playing those out is always so cool. We'll do 1 more for the fit. But I think the team's good. I think, like, I mean, that one game we lost because we just missed Draco, and then the other one, I mean, we got parried, but I'm wondering if there was a better way for us to, like, optimize our line, to be honest, so that we didn't have to, like, I mean, no, I mean, we got parried, right? But, like, there might have been a better way to, like, safely play around the Decorate, right? Or we could have played a bit more aggressive to call it out. I also mentioned, like, we could have protected that turn on the Calyrex because it was pretty telegraphed they were going to Thunderbolt. That would have been a really impactful turn, right? It would have potentially saved us some resources, so... And saved us a Calyrex for the end game, potentially. So, there were definitely ways I think we could have improved on that game, for sure. Okay. Let's see. Andrew. Alright. Okay, so Basket Legion is a little scary. But I think it's fine. Oh yeah, this is actually really scary. Because Kyogre pinning with electric moves is a little annoying. Offhand, I'm thinking of a very cheesy game plan where we can Terra Water Helping Hand Surging Strikes to kill the Kyogre. But if they lead Tornogre, I'm pretty sure I just lose on the spot. I could also bank on being faster than their Miraidon and just do Ursh and Miraidon. It's probably a little bit safer just because it's still a little bit less risk. Wait. Oh, I locked Giraffe! Oh, no! Oh, I thought I locked Urshifu and I saw it last second. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, well, I guess, like, it could have been worse lead-wise. Oh, that's so bad. I mean, this is definitely beatable. Okay. We want Trick Room up, for sure. For, like, our Calyrex in the back, right? And we have Instant in the back, right? Yes. So we're going to Trick Room turn 1. We're going to Draco here. Because we cover for Terra Grass coming out here. If they Water Spout with Scarf, I think we just lose. But you can't do anything about that. Terra Water. Okay. Wait, what are they doing? Really? Okay, Scarf Ice Beam. Oh no. Is that into Miraidon? Okay, that's fine then. That doesn't make a difference. Okay, that's fine. So realistically, like, same outcome. We're chilling. Yeah, Ursh definitely would have been a lot nicer here, but it's okay. Actually, would Ursh have been nicer here? Actually, maybe it worked out because we got Trick Room up. We'll see. Can Helping Hand lands. We can go for something else. They're locked into Ice Beam, which isn't great. I actually think we want to leave Kyogre on the field here and just completely target down the Basket Legion slot. Since they're locked into Ice Beam, actually, I wonder if we need to even click, I kind of want to not Terra, but it's like, we immediately lose. If they wave crash or Calyrex-Ice. So maybe we do just Terra Water. Yeah, we Terra Water on this. We kind of have to. Because if they wave crash us, like, it's just over, right? And we can't just risk that. Kyogre's locked in Ice Beam, so we just ignore Kyogre. We'll just target down the other slot in the meantime. That's a good crit. I'll take it. Wave crash. That's gonna go into for draft probably. Never mind. Holy moly, that's so much damage. Wait, this is definitely winnable, by the way. Ice Beam, yep. Is it, if it's not Iron Hands in the back, I think we win already, actually. If it is Iron Hands, which it should be. Oh, hold on. Wait a second. Now this is where it gets interesting. I kind of want to Leaf Seed and Psychic. I kind of want to Trick Room and Leaf Seed, actually. Well, no, because that doesn't cover for Lance. Trick Room Leaf Seed. Okay. Oh, okay, cool. All right, that's kind of what I wanted. Okay. And now we get a Leech Seed off, so we're gonna heal. Okay, actually, we're like in a very playable position now. And now I can Helping Hand Lance, because that covers for Miraidon hard switching in here. I just need to not crit the Ogre. Okay, perfect. Okay, I think we just win now. Okay, nice. Perfect. They thought we were going to try and reverse Trick Room again, so we got them on this. They thought we were going to reverse Trick Room on their Giraffe again, so they Helping Hand Ice Beam to cover for that, but this time we didn't go for it. So we should probably actually just win on the spot now, because now our Calyrex can just get a double, or not a double boost, but it can get a Helping Hand Lance, and we just win the game. If it's Iron Hands in the back, we can win anyways, because we have Instant. Nice. Let's go, dude. Dude, the double Trick Room play was crazy, especially since we misled, too. Like, we didn't mean to lead what we led. Although, it might have worked out better in this case. Right, Helping Hand. And Glacial Lance. Nice. Alright, that was a great game to end it on, I felt like. The last game was rough, and some of the other losses were a bit rough, but like, I think the team in general, you guys can see the strengths of it. And I really like the fur draft. I think the fur draft's actually pretty cool with this team, to be honest. It's really sick. Definitely liking that a lot. So, but yeah, well, awesome. Well, guys, thank you for tuning into this video. It was a lot of fun. I actually really enjoy recording with, you know, all these different teams. It's actually really cool. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying this, like, you know, laddering, rank battles content. Let me know, by the way, I'm going to be using a new thumbnail for this video if you guys like the thumbnail for this video a bit better than the other ones. And if there's any, you know, special guests, teams you'd like me to feature, whatever, please drop in the comments. I would love to definitely check those out. All right, guys, thanks so much. Catch you guys soon. Peace.